Hi, my name is Toby Pierce, and I'd like to share a devotional thought with you today. This past Monday, April 8th, 2024, there was a solar eclipse. It began about 11:17 a.m. and it went to about 1:50 p.m. with it peaking about 12:30. That's Albuquerque time. Now Albuquerque was not in the direct path. Uh, but did you notice that it got a little dark? In Genesis 1, beginning in verse 1, it says, "In the beginning God created the heavens and the earth was waste and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, Let there be light. And there was light. And God saw the light that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness." When Jesus was crucified, we're told in Mark 15 and verse 33, "And when the sixth hour was come, there was darkness over the whole land until the ninth hour." Now, in our vernacular, that would be noon till 3 p.m. Did God use a solar eclipse for that event? Well, I don't know. I've tried looking into it using modern tools that kind of look at eclipse schedules and try to figure out where and when they would have been, back in history. And I don't see one scheduled over Palestine about that time, even given that some folks say our calendar might be up to 4 years off. But I might just be missing it. and regardless of how the darkness happened, think with me for just a minute that the darkness happened. In John 8 and verse 12, it says, "Again, therefore, Jesus spake unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life." When Jesus, the light of the world, was being put to death, the earth was darkened. Matthew 4 and 16 says, "The people living in darkness have seen a great light. On those living in the land of the shadow of death, a light has dawned." In Peter's sermon in Acts chapter 2, in verse 16, he says that this is what was spoken by the prophet Joel. And then down in verse 20, he talks about how before the day of the Lord, the Lord shall come, the sun shall be turned into darkness. Well, John 3 and verse 19 tells us, "And this is the judgment. The light has come into the world, and the people love the darkness rather than the light, because their works were evil." Well, Jesus came to fix that, didn't he? He came to be the light and to point people to the light. When Paul is before King Agrippa and he's telling about his conversion, telling about when he was on that road to Damascus and Jesus spoke to him, he says that Jesus said, and this is Acts 26 and verse 16, "But arise and stand upon thy feet, for to this end I have appeared unto thee, to appoint thee a minister and a witness, both of the things wherein thou hast seen me, and of the things wherein I will appear unto thee, delivering thee from the people and from the Gentiles unto whom I send thee." And he says, to open their eyes, that they may turn from darkness to light, and from the power of Satan unto God, that they may receive remission of sins and an inheritance among them that are sanctified by faith in me. Well, 1 Corinthians 4 and verse 5 says, "Wherefore judge nothing before the time, until the Lord come, who will both bring to light the hidden things of darkness and will manifest the counsels of the hearts, and then shall each man have his praise from God. 2 Corinthians 4 and verse 6 says, "Seeing it is God that said, Light shall shine out of darkness, who shined in our hearts, to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Jesus Christ." Ephesians 5 and verse 8 tells us, "For ye were once darkness, but now are light in the Lord. Walk as children of light." Colossians 1 and verse 3, talking about Jesus, says, "Who delivered us out of the power of darkness and translated us unto the kingdom of the Son of his love." Actually talking about the Father, about God sending his Son Jesus. In 1 Thessalonians 5, beginning of verse 4, it says, "But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day the Lord shall come, that day should overtake you as a thief. For ye are all sons of light, and sons of the day. Ye are not of the night, nor of darkness." And 1 Peter 2 and verse 9 tells us, "But ye are an elect race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people for God's own possession, that ye may show forth the excellencies of him who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light." Yes, when Jesus died, the land was dark at noontime. I think the universe could not help but be so. But now he lives, and he lives inside you. And Jesus is sending us to open the eyes of those in darkness, that they may turn to the light of the world, to Jesus. When an eclipse comes around, or even each day, each evening as it gets dark, think about how Jesus died for you. Let the darkness remind you of that. And when the sun is out and when it's bright and beautiful, think about how Jesus lives, and he lives for you. Hope you have a blessed day.
If you would like more information, or if you'd like to participate in our Bible studies and worship services, we would love to have you come join us at the Northeast Church of Christ in Albuquerque, New Mexico.